Yeah, I'm gonna introduce you. So I'm here with Amy Kedron from Buffalo First. Hi, Amy.
Hi.
You've been a great host, so thank you so much for all that. And we're going to ask you a few questions, as you know. But before we get started, can you give me 30 seconds on your community?
Sure. Buffalo is an old post-industrial city. We are located on Lake Erie. And we have a lot of things that we're growing through. Buffalo is the third poorest city in the country. We're also one of the most segregated cities in the country. And recently, there's been this new resurgence in the nonprofit sector in our area. A lot of young 30-something, 20-something leaders working on all sorts of things like the green economy, looking at local living economies, all sorts of reuse issues, and we're really bringing the area back.
Great.
So it's exciting.
Great. So how old are you?
Oh gosh, I'm not answering that.
Okay. Do you have a political orientation?
I'm progressive.
Okay. And do you have a religion or religious affiliation?
I think all religions have something positive in them.
Okay. And your job title is Director of Buffalo First?
I'm the Founding Executive Director.
Founding Executive Director. And do you have other jobs in the community, or is this pretty much it?
I'm also an academic. I just wrapped up a law degree, and I'm finishing up a PhD. And my PhD dissertation looks at local independent businesses and the value that they bring to our community.
Great. What do you see your role in the community as?
Well, I guess sometimes it's just great to wake up and see all of the wonderful things that you have going for you as a city. And I think Buffalo's been in a slumber for a really long time. And most of the corporate investment that's happened throughout the country has largely taken place in the South. Buffalo, being an old labor town, was forgotten. And also, because we are so poor, we haven't gotten much of that like big box retail investment, if you want to call it investment. So what's wonderful is we're sitting on this beautiful gold mine of old retail buildings that accommodate independent businesses. We still have a very strong core. There are very few chain restaurants in the city of Buffalo, very few chains in general. And we think that's great because we still have that independent character. So I think one of my roles is to show people how unique we are because of that and how we can build upon that. And so Buffalo First has been working with about 7 different local business support organizations that don't normally work together, to get them together working on different promotions to encourage people to shop locally. And we're also educating those organizations about the economic, environmental, and community impacts that shopping locally has.
Great. Can you talk about your relationship with your independent local community?
Sure. Well, I think mine is a little unique. I have, I guess one of the best things about my job is that I have the opportunity to interact with some of the best independent business owners in town. And it's just really a privilege to go into shops on a regular basis and to develop a relationship with these business owners over years now, and to see them develop, to see them struggle, and to give them some of the resources to kind of like pull them through, especially now that we are in recession.
Sure. Great. This one's kind of fun.
Okay.
So, if your local indie community were an animal, what animal would it be and why? And if you say buffalo, you better have a really good explanation.
So I won't call it a buffalo. If my local independent community were an animal, what animal would it be? I'm going to have to say a buffalo.
All right, get to explain it.
You know why? Because we're tough. There's a place in Buffalo. The Buffalo Zoo actually has some buffalo that you can take a good shot of, we're scrappy people. We weather the storm. You can drive by the Buffalo Zoo, and in the dead of winter, those buffalo are standing there. And I think that is we never really think about that in our city. Like, what does it mean to identify with this animal? But I think we're true blue American. We are salt of the earth people, and I think that the buffalo is emblematic of that as well.
All right, good enough explanation. That's great. That's great. So, next question. Talk about a time when you needed support in your life, professional, personal, whatever, and the local independent community was there for you.
Well, this organization wouldn't exist if it weren't for so many amazing and progressive-minded business owners. I remember when we started this 3 years ago. Should I wait?
No, it's cool.
When I started this initiative 3 years ago, I had to humbly walk into businesses and talk to owners whom I didn't know and pitch this idea. And back then, it was just a good idea. And there were business owners like Jonathan Welch from Talking Leaves Books, our oldest independent bookstore in town, and Kelly Maurer from the Buffalo Cooperative Credit Union, Bob Syracuse from Pizza Plant, Aaron Calla from UB Green, the Green office at the University of Buffalo. They all got it. I didn't have to twist their arm, and these are issues that were near and dear to them for a very long time, and they supported the initiative. They joined the board of directors of the organization and pulled me and the organization through the best and the worst, over the past 3 years. Buffalo First is just reaching its tipping point now. We're getting grant money. We have a huge membership base, but it wasn't always like that, and they were really strong, and they believed in this vision, and they made it happen,
Great. So, you're an organizer, clearly, and you know what we're doing with this project. What one lesson or piece of advice could you share with anyone or any organization who might interact with what we're doing here?
Yeah. That you have to focus on being collective. Every individual, every business, every organization has its strengths and weaknesses, and it's important to draw on those strengths and bring everybody to the table. And when you do that, you can create a really amazing synergy.
Great. Last question. Along those lines, what one message would you like to share with anyone who might interact with this project?
The theory behind this movement appealed to me for so many different reasons, but the one reason, the one thing that's resonated with me most through all of this is I came to this as a social scientist and someone who's dedicated her life to understanding why her city is so oppressed and why it's struggled for so long, and more so how to empower it. And the one thing that I've learned is that when a community really owns its neighborhood, when it's running its schools, and when it's owning and controlling its hospitals and its businesses, and when it's owning homes rather than renting, then that community truly becomes empowered, because they're running things. And that's when communities grow and thrive. And that's why I'm doing the work that I'm doing. And I think it's really important for other people interested in this to understand that one idea.